Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to play the Boogie Man. Yes, the Boogie Man, the IS7 with, of course, the Baba-Yaga camouflage, which, of course, those of you that have seen John Wick, everyone would know that the Baba-Yaga means Boogie Man in Russian, I believe. If it's not, then John Wick has been lying to everybody. So yeah, the IS7 has a massive history in this game. It's when I first started, it was all about two tanks and two tanks alone in tier 10. That is, obviously there are other tanks, you know, like the KV2 and the TOG and stuff like that. But in tier 10, it was all about two particular tanks, and especially when it comes to tournaments, and that is of course the IS7 and the Object 140. Go back years, go back like 7 years, 8 years, maybe even more than that, 9 years. Go back and watch Wargaming streams on tournaments, and all you will see in their lineups is Object 140s, IS7s. That's it in both teams. Now you see a mix of different tanks, but honestly, go back and just watch the tournaments, because it was all about IS7s, 140s. Now, the IS7 has had its ups and downs. I do give it that. At one point, you're like, yeah, don't buy the IS7. And I think that was Angal. He's mean because it was just so easy to ammo-rack. Everybody could ammo-rack an IS7. It was not hard to ammo-rack an IS7. You don't really see them ammo-rack this day and age. Nothing's really changed, but you know, you don't see as many ammo-racks on the IS7 as you once did. But other than that, the tank now, honestly, Wargaming, when they gave it the upgraded PBR, the graphic, it did kind of change the tank, to be fair. The armor profile was really good, and just overall, you know, Wargaming have added to the tank. They gave it now tungsten shells, and honestly, it is definitely a tank to have in tier 10. So the turret is 240 millimeters, very strong turret, and your hull is 150. But your hull is a weird one, because you have got a pike nose. So if you angle that side of your pike, your front will be weak. But if you look straight, both your front plates will be, both side of your front plates will be very strong, but your lower plate will be quite weak. So yeah, it's a very difficult tank to play when it comes to that. Of course, it is a Russian heavy, so it does have troll spaced armor, and you'll bounce shots that you didn't even know that you can bounce. So your DPM 2403, that is with me running calibrated shells, because you know I wasn't really a lover of calibrated shells back in the day. I was all about DPM, but over the last sort of few months, I've been changing all my tanks to run calibrated shells, because I want to pen. The more pen, the better. If you don't pen running the rammer, then your DPM's a lot lower. So yeah, you might as well try to guarantee your penetration every single shot. That is 11.48 seconds on your reload. Your penetration with the calibrated shells is 275, 336 on your APCR, and 73 on your HE. You've got a 460 alpha gun, which is very nice. And for me, that is what makes the tank that alpha, because there are a lot of heavies out there that have 400, 420 alpha. And because of that, some of your average rolls are sort of below the 400 mark, like the 350, 360. But because you do have 460 alpha, you're very rarely going to go below that 400 mark. And you can actually hit 575 as your top end. So very nice. 390 on your APCR and 600 on your HE. Aim time and gun dispersion obviously are not great at 5.2 and 0.371. 5.2 is really bad. And the gun depression at 6 degrees is also bad. 42 kilometers per hour though, top speed, again, which is something that really does make the tank. The top speed is amazing, and that is originally really why everyone loved it, because it was a heavy, but a really quick heavy. So yeah, you know, it's definitely a tank nowadays where you have to have one in your garage. Everyone's played one. If you haven't played, at least played an IS7, then there's something wrong with you. There really is. It's one of the most popular tier 10s in the game, especially when it comes to heavies. And I think that's always going to be like that. Obviously, it's not as popular as it once was, but it's equally as strong. You know, it really is a strong tank now, especially with the tungsten shells. If you can use that tungsten shells and guarantee your penetration both shots, because you are able to shoot twice. I mean, look at that, 5.62. Yes, we had a high roll, but you know, it didn't ever need tungsten shells. Honestly, I had no idea why Wargaming decided, who sat there and thought, you know what, this tank needs tungsten shells. Let's give it tungsten shells. I really don't know what Wargaming were thinking when they decided to give this tank tungsten shell. I really, really don't know. And because of the armor profile, because of the speed, it's actually quite an easy tank to carry in, as long as you play it correctly. And again, it is all about those angles, because if you angle one way, then yeah, your pike nose, as you can see on the front, because it's sort of in two different parts, that does become, one of them becomes a lot weaker. So if I angle to the right now, then the left side will be weak, but the right side, of course, will be quite strong. So the whole idea is to play a pike nose is look directly at them, but of course you need to give it a little bit of a wiggle, because your armor is very, very troll, and even from the rear, as you've just seen there, you can get bounces. Now I don't know if you can hear or not, but I'm at work and it is absolutely pissing down a rain. I don't think you can hear it, but if you can, I do apologize. So this game here, it's a 3 versus 4. I really wanted to hit that shot there. Now, I'm actually ignoring the heavies. I know it's a 3 versus 4, but I'm ignoring the heavies because really I need to deal with these one shots. The enemy have 2 bases. There goes the freaking T100 as I turn to try and get him. But yeah, I'm more focused on dealing with these mediums than the heavies because they're the ones with the DPM. Now, we actually have a really good game here. And unfortunately, my 60 TP doesn't stay alive as long as I'd hoped. Now, he does, however, get a very nice shot into that M60. And we are going to bring him down to a 1 shot. I mean, look at that, 601. 601. Very, very nice. But at this point, I'm like, right, okay, now he's dead. It's almost impossible for me to be able to win this game. 410, yeah, a little bit of a low roll, but it's still above that 400 mark. And with the VK coming to the side of me, again, there really isn't too much I can do at this point. So 5.5k damage. Again, I think we've done our job. You know, we've bounced 2,300 damage, and the rain outside is getting more and more. Oh my God, it's like I'm in a rainforest. Honestly, if you can hear this, I do apologize. Oh my, it is absolutely hammering it down. But overall, I think I've done my job there. 5.5k damage, 2,300 block damage, and only wasn't even enough for a first class there, which yeah, that hurt me. That really hurt me, Wargaming. Come on, I deserve more than that. Hey ho, let's go again. But I really like the camo, and all of a sudden the rain's just stopped. How weird is England? So as I was saying, I really love this camo, to be fair. I think it looks fantastic. The Baba-Yaga, the Boogie Man, the Boogie Man. So yeah, those of you that have never played the IS7, honestly, go play it. You need to play the IS7, more so now than before, because it is a fantastic tank. And again, most of your bounces, you're always going to get bounces. It's just when and how you get them bounces. But most of your bounces will honestly come when you're least expecting it. Like now, for example, when you're side on, especially, people will go for your side and they'll hit the spaced armor and they'll just bounce. So that is one thing I love about the tank. But that's also one thing I hate about the tank, because coming up against these tanks, these are very, very troll. So do be careful and make sure you aim at the right position when you are coming up against the IS7. Beautiful high roll there against the T57. And as you can see, we are coming out at an angle. We are being a bit of a a noob here. We've just taken 2 shots that we did not need to take. And then I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to go forward. I don't know why. I know he's reloading, but he's got too many hit points for me to deal with. But 480, you know, that's, again, not too bad. And as long as I can hide around this corner, we are playing it very, very, very risky at the moment, because I could just die any moment now. So he's just missed a shot there. So as long as he shoots someone else or bounces a shot, I can then go and deal with this T57, unless I can get a high roll. Of course, that is exactly what happens. A nice 500 plus roll into that guy to bring him, to kill him. So that's now just about 4k damage. We bounced 1200 damage. And again, the bounce that I've done, I haven't really asked for the bounce, if you know what I mean. I haven't played for the bounce. I've just bounced. And that is something this tank does on a regular basis. It bounces even though you really don't like there. You know, we come out sideways, wasn't aiming for the bounce, wasn't going for the bounce, but of course we still managed to get the bounce. And again, that's something that IS7 always frustrates me with, but when you're driving it, it is very, very nice. So one more shot in it. At this point, even if the leopard's looking at me, I don't care. Luckily, he wasn't, and I do get my 4th kill. Again, just shy of the 5k mark. Now, unlike the first game, I didn't really do too much there. I didn't really try. I played it a little bit risky, of course, but this time I do manage to get the mastery badge. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Let me know what you think of the IS7 and its Baba-Yaga camouflage, because I absolutely love the camo. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye.